Alrighty, let's move on to the next one. 29.
A person living in Charlottesville who knew of Christian went to McIntyre Park to observe the Independence Day celebratory firework display. He happened to see Chris there as well and watched him closely. According to the witness, Chris did not wear anything distinct, nor was he wearing his Sonichu medallion. Occasionally, he would take out his Nintendo DSi and presumably get a better look at people around him through the DSi's built-in camera and a fixed zoom lens. He was then seen carrying out a task reminiscent of his Red String of Fate ploy. The witness noted his observations.
Time for some very uncomfortable
I saw him
erotica
scribble on
coming.
something,
Oh boy.
wrap it around what I think he picked up was a rock, and threw it at this woman. I don't think it hit her, but she seemed startled. She picked up whatever he threw, opened up the paper he had written on, looked at him, and shook her head. She then turned and went on her way.
Elriz.
Without my need to see a far distance glasses, I know that I have a handsome face. If there really are any single women in Seaville, I feel they would have seen.
Who told him this? Please, who told him this? His mom.
On July 9th, the person who spotted Chris at McIntyre Park on Independence Day saw him again at Fridays after 5. This time, he had taken the DSi zoom lens off his device and was using it as a telescope to look at other people. He also had this habit of taking off and putting on his sunglasses within seconds of each other. It seemed like he paid more attention to what was going on around him than what was happening at the concert. At one point, I noticed a girl, who looked like she was probably still in high school, jump up on the ledge beside Chris to join a group of friends who happened to be stationed behind the man baby. In the process, Chris turned to her, and it looked like he said something to her, because immediately her facial expression changed from a legit happy one to a forced smile one. She joined up with her friends, and they immediately huddled up together, whispering about something. At the same time, they all looked up at Chris and laughed. I can only imagine what he had said to the poor girl. A few moments later, one of the guys in the group picked up his cell phone and snapped a picture of Chris from behind. Maybe he's aware of who Chris is and will share his story somewhere. At that point, whether or not Chris realized they were making fun of him, he picked up his stuff and switched seating spots. The person managed to take a photo of Chris sitting on the grass. He was snapped carrying 3 Pokewalkers with him, which are Pokemon accessories that allow players to gain experience and catch other Pokemon the more they walk. He also seems to be holding a folded piece of paper. On July 13th, JenkinsJinkies advertised Chris's new Mod Nation Racers custom-made racetrack on the Quickie. He has his beta track up, as well as some actually neatly created Hot Wheels vehicles. Download his beta quick fill track for the laughs of using the defaulted beta tools.
So bro was what's it called? He was marketing using his troll account and thinking people wouldn't get it, that it's literally Chris.
He was seen by a different troll who made an account of what he saw. He was wearing a bright orange sleeveless shirt with what looked like a beer logo on the back and holding a Budweiser aluminum bottle, a little mini fan made to look like an iPod, and a hula hoop for some reason. Most importantly, he had a sort of basic attraction sign with him. Nothing elaborate or directly sexual, but it said something like friendly and flirty man zone or something similar to that, and with more smart.
So it's just a fucking cycle, is it? Like we're back to like when he was on his love quest and like freaking part like 2 or 1 of the documentary, when he was just hanging out on like the university grounds and hanging out at the mall with like his signs and everything, just trying to like speak Riz. You know, like there's the cycle memes for like sports guys where it's like play like shit, enter Sigma phase, play good, play like shit, or something like that. I wonder if there's a cycle like that for Chris.
Christian later wrote about the encounter himself in an email to Jackie. I should have gone after him in pursuit, but the only plan I had programmed in my head in response is take their picture with my DSi. I have reprogrammed my mind to pursue after lure, yell for a policeman, and have him arrested for taking photographs at the pavilion during Fridays after 5. On their triangular red column, they have a rules list, which includes no cameras or videotaping are permitted. I am positive I'll lure out the same guy from last Friday. I only got a brief look at his face, but I am positive I'd recognize him on future sight. He also informed her about his JenkinsJinkies alias and was convinced that the trolls did not suspect him to be Chris at all. In response, Jackie told him that she thought the same and directed his attention to a message left by Quickie user K9, in which he invited Jinkies to join the so-called inner circle of the trolls, which would apparently allow him access to the administrator passwords for Encyclopedia Dramatica and the Quickie. In addition, Cladcash and the Inner Circle claimed that they needed JenkinsJinkies' help with their next trolling endeavor, which involved getting Christian's PlayStation 3 taken away from him to pay off his credit card debts. As part of the application process to join the inner circle, he would have to make a video stating why he hated Christian and give an account of his past trolling adventures.
Oh my god.
In the event
Is
that
that
Chris
why he's
himself
gonna
might find the video, Jinkies was permitted to cover his face to protect his
Wow.
identity. Christian later showed the JenkinsJinkies talk page to his church's reverend, Elizabeth Foss, and his pastoral counselor, Rocky Shoemaker, who intended to forward the contents of the troll's plot to a detective at their local police department on July 26th. Christian went to his local Goodwill store to film his JenkinsJinkies video. He attempted to disguise himself by placing a blue t-shirt over his head and altering his voice, though his sports bra could be clearly seen through his clothing.
For Clyde Cash and everybody on the quick key. I hate Christian Western Chamber because he is a lazy slob. The money is wasted on him. He doesn't have to work for this money. Damn him. And also, he is unfriendly to us males.
Okay, that is such a
friendly to
dumbass.
his
That is,
males.
yeah, that is stupid.
Really ticks me off. Anyway, I have been touring him. I sent him nice emails in the beginning when I started reading him the comics, and then he did not reply. So that I sent him a bunch of curses. I did not pretend to.
I believe him. He isn't Chris.
You know, but I pledge my allegiance to Clyde Cash and everybody else in the quickie. I'll get the information on Christian Western Chamber. I'm sorry I have been taking so long in doing this, but I was just getting settled into my new home across the street from his house.
Oh wow, that's of
Black
course.
Sheep's family. They live in the house, and they promised not to tell my family back up in Boston.
The following day, the official forum for the inner circle of trolls, Trolling Train, was created, and JenkinsJinkies was invited to join. He soon made his first post on the forum, introducing himself and offering an elaborate backstory establishing his upbringing. My real name is Junior Jenkins. Scooby-Doo was the inspiration behind the Jinkies. LOL! I had a birthday recently on the 16th of July, so now I'm 15. I couldn't celebrate it with my friends like I would have wanted to, because I was hitchhiking my way to Ruckersville from Boston. I'm crashing at a house where I have some relatives
he
there.
is 15,
They're the
that's
fucking
great.
black sheep of the family, and they're not close within the same house. It is cool, because they won't rat me out to my parents and siblings, like I need another damn minute with those assholes who overlook me. And the better part, their house is across the street from Chrissy's house. Sadly though, the blinds to his bedroom are always closed, but I still get some sights of him and the family out of their house. I've arrived at my new home a few days ago on the 20th. I'll be spending my sophomore year
So he genuinely thinks that they will believe this story that he moved to the house across the street from Chris's house. Out of coincidence, I'd assume that he's living in the house across from Chris as a troll, and like he expects Clyde Cash and all the other trolls to believe him. That's just great.
Before then, I had a gay experience in summer camp when I was 7. My bunkmates were experimenting and made me their mofo unwilling guinea pig. I was blindfolded during the whole thing, feeling an 8-year-old's dick up my ass. I was not thrilled from the ordeal, but last January, I became curious from the recalling of the feeling, so I asked Jerry to show me a night. At first it was neutral, then he made out with me. His breath was minty with a hint of garlic from something he ate. It was cool with me. Then he told me to suck his dick, and I did. The taste and sight did not thrill me, and he sucked mine. He got a rise out of me, but then I started to feel uneasy.
He's just
It was
making
minor at
fan
first,
fiction
and I promised
real.
myself I'd see this through. Finally, he was in me doggy style. As he humped me, I was feeling it both in my penis and in my gut, worsening as he went on. And eventually, I embarrassed myself grossly. I came and fucking threw
Holy
up
shit.
simultaneously.
Oh my god.
Jerry
Oh my
had not
god.
come
Yeah,
yet.
that is terrible. So he is. Oh my god. That is so he's making. Yeah, the most straight man ever, by the way, is writing fan fiction about a 7-year-old and an 8-year-old having gay sex. The straightest man who is not a child pornographer, by the way, is writing this. Just writing a whole paragraph about this.
I felt so damn ashamed, but Jerry was kind and understanding to me. And it was then I confirmed it for myself that I was not gay, and Jerry and Dino agreed with me. So with that, I was able to move forward feeling more confident in my orientation. Anyway, after moving here,
He thinks that the trolls are gay, so I think that's why he made that. That is so stupid. That is so dumb. Like, I believe you, but wow.
Christian wrote to Jackie about his Jinkies escapades, and since she learned of the troll persona's sexual antics, she asked of Chris's fantasies, revealing that she was keen on experiencing anal sex. I've had the question of sexual fantasies posed to me before, and there are a few. One is having sex in a swimming pool, to emulate a dream I had of being lost in a water-filled labyrinth where I was intercepted by a woman, and we made out and had sex. I'm game for anal sex, as long as you're my partner, and you wore a strap-on or used a butt plug in me, as long as it is not penis-shaped. I also would like oral sex, swing set, pole dancing, me, you, or both at once, three-way, with 2 women, roleplay, and others I can't remember right now.
Bro,
Feel
it's
free
so
to suggest
fucking
other
horny.
sex in a later email. Chris complained that due to his parents' ages, they were too overprotective of him, so he felt that having a girlfriend would allow him to stay away from his parents' reach for longer. He also elaborated on his SSDI payments, or what he dubbed the tugboat. I use the term tugboat in reference to the expression, "our ship has come in," which is in reference to a huge amount of money coming your way. He revealed that out of his monthly income of $820, he paid $480 to Bob for rent, and another $100 to help pay off his credit card debts. Out of the remaining $240, which he was free to use as he wished, $17 went to game rental service GameFly, $11 to movie and TV streaming service Netflix, $50 to pay off a new credit card which he received without informing his parents, and he bought himself a new PlayStation Network gift card worth $50 every month.
That's awesome.
In addition, he let her know that he applied for a part-time job at his local Walmart, which would allow him to make extra money while keeping his tugboat intact. Jackie instead insisted that he push for a full-time position and get rid of his tugboat altogether. She greatly emphasized that he had no need to possess the over 400 games he had across
and before
all of his
anyone asked,
consoles,
yes,
and strongly
Gamefly's
suggested
still
that
around.
he sell
I
them.
remember, like back when I had cable, right? I don't have cable anymore. Everything's on the internet, bro. I used to see those Gamefly ads like all the time, the Gamefly commercials, and I used to think they were so badass. I would tell my mom about it, but like she would never budge. Thank God she never budged, because wow.
He was shocked at her harsh tone, but appreciated how concerned she was about his living situation. Listening to her advice, in early August, Christian traded in 18 games at the game retailer GameStop in exchange for $50 store credit, which he set aside to reserve the upcoming game Little Big Planet 2,
Nice.
Collector's Edition. You know, you described your fantasy about having sex in the pool in the guy's locker room. I'd love to make it a reality. Can you show me a preview by drawing
Alex
us together
Fall
in
from
a
Grace
pool?
is so
We would
freaking
just be
sad,
tearing at
dude.
each other,
Just
but then we
look at
get
him.
caught. A bunch of guys come in surrounding the pool and just stare at us, but we're so enamored with each other, making such passionate love, that we just don't care and we keep going. And then all the guys get turned on by watching us, and they start jacking themselves off into the pool. Circle jerking is such a huge fantasy of mine. Do you think you could draw something like that for me? Oh, Chris, I'm so hot right now. I feel like I could squirt. I look forward to hearing from you. Chris showed great hesitation.
It's like absolutely no shame from the trolls and from Chris to be like writing shit like this. Just trolls in general, like writing all these like really like heinous and weird things, knowing that it's gonna be documented and written, but just being and like written like in the quickie, but just continuing doing it. Like no shame and like basically sexting with Chris. It's like who's the real weird one in this situation? The guy who is like pretending to be a woman and sexting Chris, or Chris who believes he's sexting a woman? Like, I think it's weirder to be a guy pretending to be a woman and sexting this guy. Like, that's just...
On August 10th, Alec Benson Leary called the Chandler household, posing as fictitious Gameplace employee Matthew Nobles.
Hello, is this Robert Chandler?
Yes,
Hi, my name is Matthew Nobles. I think you just tried to call me back. I left you a message.
yes. What's your problem?
Well, actually, I wanted to talk to you about something. I'm an employee at the Game Place. I apologize for calling you so long after the incident
This is one of the most
but,
revealing calls in history.
given
oh
your
boy.
son's continued harassment of our store, I felt we needed to
The
speak to
gaming
you.
place now. This place downtown, by the Omni.
Correct.
Okay. What's the problem?
Well, I'm sure you're aware of the little incident your son, Christian, had when he came to our store early in June.
I didn't know he'd
when
been
he
in your
attempted to get-
store early in June.
Oh, you were unaware?
I knew that he had a lot of problems with you people several years ago.
Well,
When you
what
basically
happened was...
kicked him out and everything else for no reason of his own. And his mother.
and everybody else. I don't really like your place. Now, I didn't know he'd been there in June. Now, tell me about this.
Well, basically what happened was he came in, he wanted to speak to our manager, Mike, about getting himself unbanned. Mike refused to speak with him about the matter.
That threw him out. Mike's been persecuting him for years, and I don't like Mike. This whole thing was
sir, the point is
in the very beginning with my son. Now, I didn't like it
sir,
then, and I still don't like it. Now, what happened in June?
Sir, well, after he left, when he couldn't get himself unbanned, he came back several days later and was taking pictures of people in the store.
Well, that's not illegal.
One of the patrons.
That is terrible.
Some people felt that he was threatening them, to be honest. Mike was there, and he became angry and called the police because your son was trespassing.
Well, he hadn't told him he didn't come in there. It's a business place. Now, Mike and Megan are the ones that conspired together with a couple of other people, kids there, I think were gay, to persecute and torment Christian for years. Okay, I don't like Mike. I'd like to talk to the owner of the store. I could really feel him about the people he employs there. Okay, I could tell him a lot.
Well, regardless of that, sir, I don't know about any of that. All I know is that your son was banned from the store and he trespassed.
Into this stuff. It certainly should.
Sir, I called to inform you that even though the police came and made your son sign a trespassing notice, that he continued to harass our store online.
People are harassing him from all over the world. Let me tell you something, fella. You know what some damn crazy fools that I think started at your store with Megan and Mike and 2 or 3 more? You know what they just did a week ago? They just broke into his checking account, got his checking account numbers and routing numbers. They broke into his Best Buy MasterCard number.
Yeah, that is shitty.
Stole his ID and all of his password information. They went into that Best Buy checking account trying to ruin his credit and made a payoff on a check that had no funds in the checking account, which got him a whole bunch of non-sufficient fund fees. Now, this all transpired a week ago. Now, I'm not going to listen to your petty stuff, okay? You have people, including Mike, and I could tell you 2 more names, but I can't think of them right now, but the third one is Megan. And I'm sure you've heard of Megan or know Megan right there in the store.
I've heard about Megan.
Yeah,
sir, I don't understand.
They're the people that are terrorizing Christian. They're the people that are terrorizing Christian, okay?
Sir, the game place didn't break into his bank accounts. I don't know why you're telling me about this.
Well, we think that people that come to your place do, and including one of your employees named Mike.
We don't control all our customers.
Now, if you would like to have me talk to your owner, I would be glad to, and my wife would be glad to go to a meeting with him about your place and how it's corrupting the whole neighborhood.
I kind of doubt that Mike himself is the guy who broke into your son's account. Sir, your son was banned from the store, and
fine, send us a letter. Send us a letter. Send me a letter, sir. Okay? I don't know who you are. Do you work for the store?
Well, I know that. Yes, I do.
Do you work for the store? Okay. What is your position at the game place?
I'm an employee there, sir. I'm a supervisor.
Now, will you tell me the owner's name, or do I have to subpoena it?
Sir, look, I'm getting a little tired of this, sir. I just called to inform you that your son trespassed.
Sir, I'm getting a little tired of your place. Okay? I don't want to be harassed by your place.
We don't like your son harassing us.
Message. How do you spell your last
Nobles,
name?
N-O. Sir, I feel that it was irresponsible of us not to inform Christian's parents. That's what I called, to inform you about his trespassing.
Well, just wait a minute.
I wasn't there the initial time years ago when he was banned, sir. All I know is I was there.
N-O-B-E-L or N-O-B-L-E?
Sir.
Sir, how do you spell your last name?
You've been yelling at me this entire time, sir. I don't feel like, frankly, giving you my name.
Just spell
again.
your name and I won't yell at you.
That's a rather silly requirement, sir.
He's not yelling at you.
I'm just trying to talk. I left you.
Spell your last
He
name.
has been yelling.
Spell your last name. Hey, who are you?
I've already given my name.
You have not? What is your first name? Noble is his last name. I don't know how he spells it. What is it you want? Because it sounds like you're looking to try to harass us and get something out of us, and we don't want nothing to do with you. Because you, just because you, I don't know whether you work at the game place or not. I can't see you. I'm not down there. And you're.
3 days
Wow,
later.
that's a lot to uncover. That's a lot to unpack. Wow. Okay, so now we realize that Chris's parents are also paranoid, stupid people. Basically believing that everyone is against him. That just like a regular ass phone call, you know, informing him about like Chris trespassing. What is it, do you think? Do you think that it's like Chris lying to them? Like when he updates them about like what happened to him like at the gameplays or what happens to him in everyday life, do you think it's like Chris lying to them and them believing like Chris? Or is it Bob and Barb just trying not to give any blame to Chris? Because it seems like they don't even believe that what Chris they like. I was hoping that like Michael would mention like the reason that Chris even got banned from the gameplays. Like I was hoping Michael would mention the reason that Chris even got banned from the gameplays in the first place, which is like that he was like yelling out slurs to like children in there and just being like a complete nuisance in the area. But it just seemed like they were just like being so defensive, just like so difficult to work with or speak to. I think it reflects badly on them as parents, so they deflect their blame. I guess, yeah. That did show a lot about like how Chris is, how the parents are, like what they think about the situation. Like you would think if you showed like something about like if you showed them the quickie, you would think like if you showed Barb and Bob the quickie that they would immediately be like, oh shit, this is kind of like fucked up. But apparently like the parents just are just gonna have to like defend Chris no matter what. They just believe that it's just the trolls that are trying to like screw him over every single time, which is just wow.
On August 20th, Chris sent Jackie his drawing
That's
of the two
great.
of them having sex in a swimming pool, with no sign of him showing intention of drawing her fantasy consisting of men masturbating to the pair. He also introduced to her his intentions of forcing into fruition a 10-year reunion of his high school class. I'm going to really push for my Manchester High School class of 2000 reunion today and this week. I'm going to get in contact with the principal, same dude, thank God, and insist on getting the person who put together the senior prom to put the promised reunion together. I know it was promised, because at the end of the slideshow they had at the prom, it had a huge message stating, "See you at the reunion in 10 years." I'm no longer going to take the insubordination and belaboring to no promise-keeping sitting down anymore. Jackie encouraged him to organize the reunion himself, since he had a lot of free time. Chris declined the offer for he had no experience in dealing with such things, and was not confident in his leadership abilities. Jackie then suggested that he film a video bringing attention to the reunion and asking for help, with a first draft solely meant for her so that she could critique it and instruct him how to make a better video meant for public viewing. On August 24th, Chris made and then sent his prototype video addressing his high school reunion to Jackie. She reviewed it and then sent some critiques to him via email. She suggested that he exaggerate his physical gestures and facial expressions to help make his appeal more emotive. She also advised him to address the trolls directly, since they would probably be watching his video anyway, and have him gleefully announce that they would not get to him. Finally, Jackie asked Chris to use the Sonichu comics as a way to reconnect with his former classmates. He agreed to follow her suggestions and make a new video. In addition, he revealed that he sent a letter to Sony, linking to the trolling train and their nefarious schemes to plant viruses on games and downloadable content that Chris might purchase. After trolls found out about it, some members of the forum apparently got scared by Christian. JenkinsJinkies contributed to the discussion. Chris found this forum? I agree with you, Miranda. What if Chris doesn't download our virus at all? He's reading our plans. He may just boycott downloading anything new from Mod Nation or Little Fuck Planet. And even if Sony doesn't read what he wrote, they are aware of our shit as well. I tell ya, he ain't hiding. He's snitching on us for the fucking good of every lazy fuck on the PSN. Antiviruses can be put into any next update now. Plus, Chris may come out of hiding and make a video to put the close on our fucking repeated death rumor. And I've noticed something else. With my laptop, I managed to use a bit of his Wi-Fi. It goes all around his yard. It disappears nightly and sometimes daily. He's unplugging his internet, keeping us out. I have to hand it to him. He makes it frustrating to troll him. It's like we have to pay airfare or hitchhike dangerously and do it old-fashioned with accordion cameras and shit like that. Christian then read about a plot in which trolls plan to dig his dog Patty out of her grave in the Chandler's backyard. Jinkies then chimed in, quelling their trollsome cravings. I personally took a closer look at Patty's grave. It is harder to break into than Fort fucking Knox. The body is buried deep underground with cement blocks covering the site. And her heavy doghouse is on top of those cement blocks. I wouldn't be surprised if they cemented her grave as well. Also, the site is heavily surrounded by trees and heavy branches. It's like deepest in the mine shaft with cave-ins happening all the time. Thinking that this revelation wasn't enough to dissuade the trolls from canine grave robbing, Jinkies posted another story in which he went back to the Chandler's estate in the middle of the night and was threatened by the ghosts of an 8-year-old Christopher Weston Chandler and Patty the dog on August 27th. Chris published his refined video asking for a high school reunion, his first official YouTube video in nearly 3 months.
Yeah, this is just great. Quick bus. That's
Hello.
fun.
I am well known on the internet, sadly. I'm Christian Weston Chandler of Arkansas, Virginia. I was a Manchester High School student, graduated class of 2000. And I am looking into having the reunion, or putting it together, because I have not heard from anyone about it, not even from the principal of Manchester High.
It's like writing for a creepypasta.
I am looking out. I am looking out to everyone, to my class 2000 classmates. We know
Spit
who
it
you
out.
are, and I know who you are. Got your names in the yearbook, senior yearbook in my class. I have been looking
That is
forward to
creepy.
this reunion since the senior prom, where at the end of that slideshow it said, "See you in 10 years for a reunion." Reunion hasn't happened yet, and it has to happen. It was basically promised,
It's the prophecy.
not only to me, but to everybody who was at that prom. So this reunion has to happen, and I'm going to start it by reaching out to my classmates. And also, it would be helpful if I can also get in contact with those that have put together the senior prom back in 2000.
He then asks for his former classmates and
in
organizers
high
of
school,
the
dude.
prom to
Peaked in
contact
high
him
school.
personally and recites his home address and phone number.
That is not good. That is
False
just great.
identities will be discarded. So be sure you leave your message. Telling us your name, where you are right now, and your contact information. Basically your phone number. I will not accept email contacts. Oh hey, here's a fun little joke. So I walk into a Burger King, and I says to the female long hair employee with the pink shirt, "Am I fat?" "No." "Chris is fat." Not cool. You will be found in person,
What the fuck? What?
and I will give you a piece of my mind. Not physical violence. You trolls are going down. And with the help of all the good people who agree with me that trolling is not cool and would never dare to troll anybody or bully anybody in real life, I urge you to report any suspicious people to your local police department or Crime Stoppers. Also, some tips. Keep all your information, your personal information, off of the internet.
He says as he asks like everyone that watches this video to give him his phone number.
And naked photos is no good either. Definitely not. So keep all private information to yourselves.
This is supposed to be an announcement to his high school senior class,
Don't trust too many people on the
dude.
internet unless you actually know that person in real life and you trust that person. Then I can say it's okay to trust that person over the internet. But be wary of most everybody else.
Thank you, Chris. I respect your insight.
We're the Troll Busters. And together, we will work worldwide to put a stop to trolling and cyberbullying. Yeah.
Gotta be so sad to like see this guy. I imagine like this video somehow got like founded by like his senior class, or like I'm sure people from his senior class actually did get this video and watched it. If I receive this video, I ain't going to the reunion. Yeah, like of course. I mean, I don't think anyone would. But just like if you viewed this, right? How sad must that be, dude? To like go through it, watch it, and see how this guy is currently doing, like in life, like right now. Like seeing how he's acting, how he's feeling, how he is. Like that's gotta be like really sad. Like I know if I got a video like this right now and saw like somebody that I knew from my class like acting this way, talking about trolling when it's just supposed to be a little announcement about like a reunion that he wants to plan, that I would be sad, dude. I would be more sad than anything. Everyone he knew from high school made the right idea to not get involved, so they are seeing his mental illness of Chris right before their very eyes. His classmates have to know all about the CWC stuff too. That is so sad, dude. That's so crazy. Like the once every 2 week schedule. I still think that's like absolutely ridiculous. Like I have trouble just making my stupid little reaction videos and trying to get that out like every so often. The fact he gets whole like scripts out, right? Gets whole freaking episodes of like the Chris Chen documentary out every, it's like 2 weeks. That's so crazy.